So OnlyFans has decided to ban Thots, which is kind of their customer base, I would have thought, at this point, as in all of their content creators, but apparently not. So the first story here is that transracial activist and former NAACP leader Rachel Dolezal, remember the black lady, who's not black, but she identifies as black. And if you can identify as a woman, why can't you identify as black? Why is transracialism not valid? Anyway, so she decided to launch her own OnlyFans and promised foot pics because everyone on this platform is a degenerate boy. So in here they say Dolezal has spoken out in the past about how hate and discrimination from both sides of the political spectrum have left her unable to find gainful employment. So she's going to become a thought.
Why not, I guess?
I don't buy it, personally. The idea that she can't find gainful employment because the right and the left are bullying her. Then I think maybe she probably could find the job elsewhere, but just, wants to do the OnlyFans route. So in response to this, I'm presuming this is why OnlyFans did it. So we go to the next one. You can see Shu. Thank God, just in time. So the day Rachel Dolezal was like, yeah, I'm on OnlyFans, come and pay, OnlyFans gets banned. And, OnlyFans bans their Thots. No more pornography on the site. Cosmic justice.
Is she going to be the first transracial person on OnlyFans?
Well, she's also being discriminated against there, isn't she?
Yeah.
She joins the platform and they're like, no transracial. Get lost. Don't want your custom. Yeah. So OnlyFans has decided to ban all the Thots from October 1st. So you can see from October 1st, this will be what they'll be up to, presumably. Go back to wage cucking. There's some good memes out of this. I thought we'd just enjoy them. We go to the next one as well. It's just the scariest things to an OnlyFans contract creators. A job application. At night. No, we're not going to make that joke. Let's go to the next one as well. So the story in here is more complex than it originally seems. So I thought they were just banning them because, who wants Thots around? Maybe they were just sick of them or something. Goes deeper. So the subscription site OnlyFans, known for its adult content, has announced it will block sexually explicit photos and videos from October 1st. People will still be able to post nude content on the site. So what are they banning?
I'm confused.
Yeah. But it will need to be consistent with OnlyFans policies. So you can still be a thought as long as OnlyFans okays it. As long as the guys who actually run it like your OnlyFans, I guess. Like, as long as the devs have subscribed to you, you're kosher. Everyone else, get out. Don't want to see your stuff no more.
So, nude but no porn?
Yes.
Okay.
So, the announcement comes after BBC News had approached the company for a response to leaked documents concerning accounts which posted illegal content. So that's interesting. The BBC here trying to take credit for shutting down the Thots. Thank you for your service, I suppose. But so they also said they mentioned to OnlyFans, and OnlyFans said that they had to make the change, and it had come from pressure from their banking partners. So the bank had called them up and be like, "Hey, we're going to cut you off and no longer bank with you if you don't get rid of Thots."
But they've been happy up to this point.
Yes.
Taking the money.
And all of a sudden they're just like, "Yeah, we don't want to be involved anymore." But it also raises the question: which one is it? Is it the BBC that shut down the Thots, or is it the bank? Which I'm actually quite worried about. I mean, there's of course the humor in all of this of the Thots no longer being able to sell pictures of themselves and therefore not really doing much else with their lives. But the idea that a bank should be able to shut you down because they don't politically agree with you, I mean, where have we seen this before? I mean, Donald Trump's most recent big example, obviously. I mean, his bank getting closed down because he said protest peacefully and patriotically.
Yeah, which was against their terms and conditions.
Don't advocate peace. You must advocate war. So Thursday's announcement comes after BBC News approached the company for its response to leaked documents concerning its handling of accounts posting illegal content. The BBC says later on, the documents, described as a complaints manual, show that illegal content itself is removed. OnlyFans lets moderators give creators multiple warnings before closing their accounts, however. So we're not talking about breaches of policy. So it's not like you broke Twitter's terms of service by saying, "Okay, dude," as Zuby did. No, this is illegal content. The kind of content you cannot have on the internet at all, according to UK law. So, for example, moderates specialised in child protective services and experts say that OnlyFans has some tolerance for accounts posting such illegal content. So the illegal content being essentially underage girls joining up and then taking pictures of themselves and then selling it, and then a bunch of creepy pedos signing up to it. So In response to the BBC's investigation, OnlyFans said the documents are not manuals or official guidance. It does not tolerate violations of its terms of service, and its systems and age verifications go far beyond all relevant global safety standards and regulations. Not sure who I believe there. They're like, no, we do all we can, and yet the BBC was able to say, no, we're still finding loads of stuff that's just underage girls selling pictures of themselves on your platform. Because that's the other aspect, is that there are so many women making so much money from OnlyFans. Like, I know you don't know much about OnlyFans, but some of the examples are like women making like $12,000 a month.
Wow.
Just from pictures of themselves.
Wow.
And you can think, if you're a young girl and then you see that kind of revenue stream.
I read somewhere a couple of billion a year turnover, or 5 billion or something since it started.
Yeah.
So
it's made $5 billion since it was set up. So, good God. So,
and that's their share out of the money from people signing up to it.
That's the amount of money that went into OnlyFans.
Okay.
OnlyFans themselves, I believe, take 20%.
Okay.
So they took 20% of that $5 billion for themselves.
So 1 billion.
And the rest of it goes to the Thots, who are posting pictures of themselves.
And the banks are unhappy at this 1 billion?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why they work.
We'll trade in blood diamonds, but
yes.
Pictures of Thots? Good God, no. So the site, founded in 2016 by an Essex businessman, Tim Scotley, I love that, founded in Essex, of course it is, the home of the Thots, has come under fire in the past after a BBC News investigation found under-18s had used fake identification to set up the accounts on the site. In June, BBC News found that under-18s sold explicit videos on the site, despite it being illegal for people to share indecent images of children in the UK and everywhere in the West. So even if it's an American signing on, of course, that's still illegal for them to do that. But OnlyFans apparently were deleting the content, but then just let the 16-year-old or whoever just carry on. Because reasons.
Maybe it's okay in Afghanistan.
Maybe OnlyFans is sent to Afghanistan, yeah. So if we go to the next one, the story here actually does go a little bit further than the underage girls who just want to make some cash.
But at the end of that, it had about only 15 taken off. So the BBC pointed out, who knows how many they pointed out. They haven't said that we pointed out 1,000, you've only removed 15. Maybe they could only find 15, they removed 15.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like a huge issue if they only find 15.
God, I just thought in my mind as well, there's probably going to be a crossover here between the grooming gangs. I bet they're exploiting this for revenue as well.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah. So the BBC investigation into the illegal conduct includes someone who said that he found illegal and extreme content in videos, including bestiality involving dogs, and also the use of spy cams, guns, knives, and drugs. I don't know who's making their threatening videos over OnlyFans. But the bestiality and whatnot, yeah, I can believe that that's on there and isn't being removed. So Christoph, a second person who was moderating content for the site, say some creators offer competitions to meet up and have sex with fans as a way of increasing tip payments. This is true. I've seen posts about this. So they're some thought will be making ridiculous stacks of cash, right? But then she'll also be like, yeah, competition now. Whoever gives me the most money gets to have sex with me, and then stacks on stacks of cash just appear out of nowhere. And ultimately, of course, it is actually the simp's fault, the men giving over this money, instead of just getting a girlfriend or wife, or just keeping your money to yourself, or just going on Pornhub. I don't know why you're paying money instead of... I mean, you Google boob, and you get 1 million results. But no, you gotta pay for this instead.
This is the transracial, that's why.
I don't find much transracial porn elsewhere, thank you very much.
Exactly.
Lotus eaters. I've got to go specially to OnlyFans for that. Anyway, so one of the documents we obtained detailing moderation guidelines in 2020 state that adverts for sex are an issue for the site. It says that, quote, most popular places for escort promo on the sites are in the creators' usernames, bios, content descriptions, and tips menus. There's a menu you can pick. Okay, didn't know that. Which advertise customized videos. The document says examples of this promotion include references to PPM, pay per meet, cash meet, book me, IRL meet, escort, and others. So essentially a bunch of prostitutes have also been using it to meet their clients, which we have a weird situation here in the UK. I believe prostitution is legal, but you can't advertise the prostitution because we're very British about it. It's just do it over there.
Do it quietly.
Yeah, just don't want to know about it. So the prostitution itself isn't the crime, but them making the account to advertise the prostitution is the crime. So,
but then it'd be quite easy if they're using different terminology. You just search for that and remove any site that has that on.
Unless
Which
they
should
just
be
don't
quite
want
easy.
to.
Yes.
So despite this, the BBC was able to find more than 30 active accounts using these keywords in the bios, profiles and posts in one day. One creator profile described them as, quote, escort sex partner. A different account asked, anyone want to book me for a weekend? Only 2 of the accounts we found were removed 10 days later. So I don't know if they're talking about 30 being including of children, bestiality and whatnot. Maybe they're just talking about prostitutes who are using this as a means. But we don't know the extent of what's taking place on OnlyFans, I suppose.
But 30 out of 120,000.
Yeah, it's not that much.
It's quite small. But you'd expect all 30 to be removed, and they've only removed 2. They're not doing
after
their
they're
duty.
made aware. Because it's illegal. That's the thing. If it's not PewDiePie saying mean words or something. I mean, remember, I think Voice of Wales are the worst ones of this. The BBC lobbied YouTube to get Voice of Wales banned from YouTube successfully, which is utterly corrupt. But they didn't commit any crime. They didn't do anything wrong, even, by the looks of it. But these guys, it is against the law. So there is some confusion over the ban, of course, with the fact that you can be nude but not sexy. So if we go to the next one here, some people have been posting their chats with OnlyFans support because this thought here is upset that she's about to lose her job. So OnlyFans said, we do not plan to move away from adult content and would have informed you up front first if that had ever happened. And yet, people have emails from OnlyFans saying the exact opposite. So we go to the next one. This is some guy who got an email from OnlyFans as well. And it says in here, effective 1st of October 2021, OnlyFans will prohibit the posting of any content containing sexually explicit conduct in order to ensure the long-term sustainability of the platform. Creators will continue to be allowed to post content containing nudity as long as it is consistent with our acceptable use policy. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they mean... So the first email that they had there where they said adult content is allowed, maybe it's like adult content that's nude, as in like art or something like this.
Just adult feet.
Very professionally done.
Yes.
Paintedly. Oh, God. But I'm thinking maybe more... So OnlyFans, when it was set up, I believe was meant to be for artists and photographers and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's changed from what it was originally set up as.
Yeah, and then all the Thots turned up and took it over. So I wonder if they're actually trying to return to their roots, back to tradition of here's some like naked woman and this is art. And that's what they want instead of the women who are having fun, let's say.
But then they'll lose a lot of the money. I don't know what
that's the
percentage of users actually are for this or just for photography.
The company later defends themselves on this basis. So if we go to the next one, they're defending and saying this definitely won't make us bankrupt. But what does anyone know OnlyFans for except thothery? Who knows about it? Whatever. So earlier this year, OnlyFans chief executive Tim Stalkey told The Independent that while the site's early users had been associated... Sorry, auto plays on The Independent. So the early site users had often been associated with pornographic content. It was now growing beyond that into ultra pornographic content. I don't know. So he says, we found that creators from the adult industry really embraced the platform early on, but the content on the platform has really evolved. The fastest growing kinds of content at the time were fitness, music, and more recently, fashion, he said, pointing out to the success of musical artists such as DJ Khaled. I didn't read that wrong. If we go to the next one, DJ Khaled has an OnlyFans?
Sorry, who's Fat Joe?
I don't know. This is a life partner? Is that the polite way of putting it?
Those beards are impressive.
Yeah. 123,000 fans.
Wow.
Subscribe to DJ Khaled. It's free, as you can see there. So I think we have to thank Allah that he's probably not posting nudes. And instead he's keeping it PC. So, but if you have an OnlyFans account, I guess subscribe to DJ Khaled. Because God knows what that is. But...
And Fat Joe.
And Fat
Don't
Joe.
forget about Fat Joe.
I don't know what this is. But the company owner being like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in the pornography anymore. But he's also being forced to do this by the banks. So sounds like cope to me. Sounds like he knows he's about to lose a lot of money. And oh well, because he wants to keep the company going at all. Whatever. Anyway, so there's that. There's also some mad hoes who have got some weird defenses in defense of their very, very high status jobs. And this is Lab Bible, having a few of them. So they say here, sex workers are... Oh, if we scroll back up to the headline. Sex workers are devastated over OnlyFans' plan to ban sexually explicit videos. You could just go on Pornhub or become a cam girl or any other sex work out there. Because remember, all of that is also real work.
And it's free.
It's not.
But not really.
It's not as profitable.
No, not profitable.
And they're saying here, some of the hoes complaining, OnlyFans banning sex workers creates a space for another digital company. I hope another company will learn from the mistakes of Tumblr and OnlyFans and develop a safe and secure space for sex workers. I don't think there is a safe and secure space for sex workers, full stop.
No.
I mean, as much as I'm not let's say, social conservative with regards to porn, like there are a lot of people who want to ban porn, or, make it so you have to get a wanking license from the corner shop, where you pay the five quid and then he gives you a code, and then you can write in the code. But you got to give him his ID first, of course, as well. Do you remember Theresa May actually proposed that?
Yeah. I remember.
That was a real thing Britain was going to do. So the idea that there is a safe space for it, I don't think, no, not really. I mean, even Pornhub ran into this problem. Remember, I don't know if you know, they had to delete pretty much all of their content on Pornhub, and all that was left was the verified accounts, because people were just uploading, child stuff or rape or any other kind of stuff you would expect disgusting people to do.
And they weren't checking it.
They weren't doing a good enough job, and got in a big problem there, and then had to just destroy everything, because they were like, right, that's one solution. Just delete half the stuff on the site. So the idea there can be a safe space for adult content, I'm not sure. But if there is going to be a replacement to OnlyFans, like a company that's going to step in, I'd be really surprised if the guys who run Pornhub haven't set one up. I mean, there's a lot of profit on the table there for them. And it's not like it's a problem for them morally. So go for it, I guess. Good money. I don't know if you can invest in Pornhub, but it's an idea. So there's someone else who says sexual censorship and suppression won't keep people safe, and they never have. Forcing sex workers off OnlyFans will only mean that they find another riskier way of paying their bills. You could just get a job, pay your bills that way, instead of also working in sex. I mean, it's not like if you're a woman, you're tied to the sex industry. There's nothing else you can do with your life. We've had women's liberation. You can go work somewhere else now. Don't worry. But the idea also that it's sexual suppression or sexual censorship, I don't know. I mean, do you really think the banks are like tradcons? Traditional conservatives? They're like, we're not dealing with you. This isn't very moral. It's not very virtuous of you, OnlyFans.
It's crazy because this individual is saying that the only way some women can make money is by doing this. They can't actually choose from the other millions and millions of jobs available. This is it.
So that's whores of yore there, verified check mark. The only thing women are good for is sex, so says whores of yore. Anyway.
How is that verified?
I don't know.
How do you get that verified?
The official whores of yore.
Yes.
Boy. There's another one here, which, of course, there's the attempts at intersectional complaining, as if this is going to save them from it. So, OnlyFans banning sexually explicit content is throwing sex workers that made your platform successful to the curb. Exploitation of, primarily, women and minority-driven content for public funding are under the guise of purity. This sucks. Sex work is real work. Yeah, the progressive attacks are not going to work here. Don't you know that most of the Thots are minorities, and therefore this is a racist policy you're instituting? Yeah, not going to work. If you go to her account, she has she, her in the bio, so we can just disregard her opinion.
Disregard, yes, please. Move on.
But also the idea that there's exploitation. Exploitation of who? Like, the women willfully signed up. Like, it was their choice. They made tons of money out of it. Sure, they may have ruined their dating prospects for the rest of their lives, but, that's not my problem. But also, just, now it's sexploitation when they're banned? So, presumably, the moment they were banned, it became exploitation of them. Whatever. Socialist thinking. Doesn't make any sense. So, they say on here as well that there are more than 2 million creators on OnlyFans who have collectively raked in more than $5 billion since the site was launched. I mean, that's the level of profit we're looking at here. Which, yeah. I mean, as a fellow capitalist, I have to respect the profit, but not sure about how it was made.
Respect the profit, sorry. Differently.
I can't respect the whores, so what are you gonna do? But yeah, I think a lot of people are just kind of glad that this highly effective means of making profit for people though is dying. Because I remember watching a J-Reg video about this. J-Reg's a YouTuber who likes to be very ironic about everything. But he did a video where he was just completely non-ironic about OnlyFans. It was like, well, I feel like people hate it a large part because the fact that a woman can just sign up and make loads of money and that's it. Like that's what she is now. She's just essentially an internet whore.
Yeah.
That's not good for society. It's not good for her. It's not good for the people paying the money. I mean, we can all be truthful about that. It's not really good for the people involved. Do I want to ban it? No, as a liberal, but at the same time, It's not good for anyone long term. So not exactly going to be missed. I'm sure Pornhub or someone will step in and make their own version because it's technology. You can't really keep it down. But anyway, that's OnlyFans banning the Thots.
If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.